To Pitt-Johnstown. I thought they played their butts off. Obviously really, really well coached, and really they got into a great rhythm offensively in the first half. They were making shots. Krumka was terrific in the first half with 20 points, and Forbes was really good with 10 points. Those two guys had 30 of their 42, but they came out with great energy, real excitement. I really like his team, and I know we spoke a little bit before the game. I know he really likes them, had some returners and some new guys, but I want to give kudos to them for how well they played and for pushing us. I thought we responded in the second half. It took us 20 minutes, but I thought in the second half, everything was much better. We have to understand we have to be good defensively. In the second half, we held them to 37%, so we did a better job there. We cut the threes in half. They had 6 in the first half. They had 3 in the second half, so we did a little bit better job there. We did a much better job on Krumka. He didn't score. We had an awareness for him. And then our defense was able to ignite some things for us offensively. I thought for the most part, we shared the basketball well today. We valued it better in the second half. We had 9 turnovers at the half, only 4 in the second half. A learning experience for us. We'll grow from this. We'll use every situation, everything that we go through to help us get better. We're excited about the journey we're about to embark on, where they all become real now. There's going to be a number in the left and the right side. We want to stack as many as we can on the left. And in order for us to do that, we have to understand who we are. We have to be gritty. We have to defend at a high level. We have to rebound, and we have to share the ball.
Let's take questions for the players.
Omari, just one missed shot, one turnover. What was working for you to have an efficient night like you did?
I just wanted to go out there, play hard, play with a lot of energy, and I feel like if you do those things, the ball's gonna come to you, and you're gonna be able to do what you got to do out there. So just coming out there, playing hard, playing good defense, and my teammates were able to find me. So shout out to my teammates.
Omari, what do you feel like you were doing in practice during the start?
Just practicing hard every day, getting up extra shots in the morning, after practice, just constantly getting better every day. I feel like that just translates to the game.
What are your first two? What was your first 2 games? Your first game action at this level kind of taught you about Division I basketball?
It's real fast paced. It's way different from high school. Especially in the ACC, just everything is constant movement, constant running. So I would say that, and just the physicality. Teams are more physical. You got to run through a lot of screens. Just be that aspect, conditioning and stuff like that.
Nice. What have you learned from these 2 games?
I learned that we got a tough team. We play hard. I like the way we play defense, and I like the way we share the ball on offense. I feel like we got a lot to improve, which is the exciting part about this team, and I'm excited just to take it day by day and keep getting better. So.
It's just, where do you think this team is right now through 2 exhibitions defensively?
Yeah, we got a lot of things to clean up, and I feel like that's going to happen, and I feel like we just got to keep forcing turnovers. I feel like defensively we just got to rebound the ball a little bit better and talk more, and I feel like everything else, if we just keep playing hard, it's going to come together. So I feel like we're going to be in a good spot in the future.
The shots really falling for you too, Nojus. What was working for you tonight?
Yeah, just reps coming in, just working on it, trusting in the shot. Yeah, it's just simple as that.
All right, you guys good? We'll let the student athletes go.
Thank
You guys
you.
can go back.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Thanks both. Questions for Coach?
At halftime, I was thinking how I was going to ask you, what's going on with Brandon Cummings, what's his role going to be, and then he goes for wherever he had all in the second half. What is his role with his team? What's he figuring out?
Yeah, well, he's got to be a good player. That's his role, is to be a good player. Brandon can score the basketball. He can create. He's got to defend at a high level. He's got to be a connector. Obviously he can score, but he can pass the basketball. He's got to understand that if he's scoring, there's going to be a lot of eyes, a lot of attention on him. And if he passes it and guys are making shots, that's going to take the load off of him. That will ease things up for him. I thought he did a much better job in the second half. And it started, with a pass, a lob to Cam. It started with him diving for a loose ball. That's what kind of ignited him and opened the basket up for him. But again, we expect him to be a really good player. That's his role on the team.
What have you learned? What have you liked about Witherspoon these last two scrimmages as far as the role he's going to play in the rotation?
Yeah, I've liked everything about him from the time he got here. He's a talented player. There's a toughness. There's a belief. There's a work ethic that's there. He's advanced for a freshman defensively. That was kind of his identity in high school, and he was coached very, very well there. He's not a guy that was one of these highly ranked guys, so there's a toughness and a competitiveness that's there. He's getting better offensively. He shot the basketball well from three today. He's been pretty efficient in practice, especially getting to spots. He's learning how to use his size. He's a big guy, and at times, he's gotten in the two exhibition games a couple of offensive fouls called on him, and I think some of it is just because of his size. But he's getting better. He wants to be really good. He's got an unbelievable attitude. He's a great teammate, and we're excited about working with him.
How do you look at your front court rotation right now, having a couple games without Deshaun?
Yeah, well, again, it's something that coming into the season or in the summer we thought would be a big strength of ours, and now it's not as strong as it was. We held Papa out today. Just he had some swelling in his knee. He should be fine by the time we open up. We don't have a lot of experience there besides Cam, and that's a concern. But we got to figure it out. Those guys have to be able to give us quality minutes, and Cam is going to have to be able to give us minutes without fouling.
You talked about Cam. He was 80% from the floor. Just talk about his growth from last year to this so far.
Well, the thing I was really pleased with also is that he was 5 for 6 from the free throw line, and he made a big 1-and-1 there in the first half when we had a 3-point lead. I think we had it at 9. They had cut it to 3, and he got fouled, and we were able to extend the lead. Last year, I'm not sure he makes those. So he's a much more confident player there. Cam has always been an efficient offensive player since he's been in this league as a freshman, sophomore, and a junior. I think he's been in the top 5, top 10 in field goal percentage. We've got to get him to rebound more, especially defensive rebounding. He's got to do a better job there. But, again, another kid that has a great attitude, wants to be really good, comes to work every day. He's a gym rat. And so it's great to see some of those things translating. The past 2 games, he's been really good from the foul line.
There are multiple newcomers on this team that are from outside of the U.S. How do you get them used to the American culture, and especially a city like Pittsburgh? Yeah,
well, some of it, some of them were here. They went to high school in the States. I know Papa and Amdi, those guys did. But for the rest of those guys, Kieran went to high school in the States for his senior year. And I don't know how much different Canada is from us. So that's a little bit different. Roman and Henry are the ones that, got here, and Roman got here really, really late, sometime that first week of September. I think one of the things that helps any student athlete whenever they go to college is that they have a built-in friend group and teammates. I know when I was a freshman, that helped me because I was lost in the university, but I had my teammates. And I think any student athlete, I think that's who they gravitate towards because there's similarities. And so these guys are fortunate to have really, really good teammates that can help them through a transition.
What are you going into the second half telling telling your team with such a close margin, going
Yeah.
so close into real season play? What are you telling them with a little tougher opponents coming up soon?
Well, what I told them at halftime is that we have been really good in practice, and we were really good against Providence. And we were not in the first half of that game. And I thought we disrespected us because we didn't show up with the same intensity, the same attention to detail that we had last week when we played Providence. And we can't be a team that just thinks we can show up. There's a certain way that we have to show up. We aren't one of these teams that just is going to out-talent you. We're not. That's not who we are. We have talent, but we don't have the type of talent that some of these teams do. But if we're tough and we're together and we play with an edge like we did last week, like we did in spurts today, then we can be a really good team. And what I told them at halftime is that you didn't come here to be a spurt guy or a spurt team. You came here to be really good. And it requires, a level of discipline. It requires showing up the right way and the right attitude. And most importantly, it requires a level of respect for us and what we're trying to do on this journey. And so this was good for us. This was a great learning experience for us. Obviously, we know starting on the 3rd, the competition gets better and better. We're going to play against a well-coached Youngstown State team. I don't really know much about them right now. But I know they have a good coach, a good coaching staff. I'm sure they have good players. And I know they're going to be really, really excited to open up just like we are.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Thanks.